All right, let's get after it. Welcome everyone to the postgame chop up with Nate and Steve, presented by the Voice of College Football. I'll be flying solo today as Steve has some family obligations and is working a festival with his family. So I get to be the one that talks about Florida State's first win, 33-30. Ryan Fitzgerald comes through in the clutch, kicks a field goal as time expires. FSU holds on after being in control for most of the game. 33-30, FSU is off the schneid. Is FSU back? Here we go. No, but for real. Let's jump into it. So, we got a couple questions coming in already. I'm my instant reaction is that there's still a lot of things that this team has to work on. Clearly, the defense played tremendously in the first half, and again in the second half, it was just really bad defense. It was and has been the exact opposite. 4 games into the season where Florida State would play really poor in the first half defensively and come out and play really good in the second half. So, once again, there was not a consistent effort by the defense against a team that, honestly, yeah, they're 3-1, but the record, you have to look at who they played. So, Florida State starts Jordan Travis, which, based off what we heard in practice, isn't much of a surprise coming this week. Milton, as great of a story as it has been, has struggled mightily. And you bring in Travis, who, if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I'm not the biggest Jordan Travis fan in terms of him being a quarterback, but what he can do with his legs, it is the reason why Florida State won that game. So you have to give him his props for toughing it out and making plays with his legs on that last drive. So, before we get into the quick breakdown, let's answer questions. So, Lewis Ross was asking, are we running co-defensive coordinators? Randy was on the field a lot on timeouts. I don't know for certain what they were doing this week. I know that he was on the field last week as Marcus Woodson had a death in the family, so he was not on the sidelines last week, so he filled that extra role. I'm not sure if he missed this week also. But yeah, I saw him on the sidelines. No, they're not running code DCs. It is still Adam Fuller's team in terms of the defense. So I do know that he's been a little bit more involved in practice, but he is not calling plays. So as much as we want a defensive coordinator change, Florida State's not going to do that right at this moment. So pulling up some stats here real quick. All right. So, first and foremost, I'm beyond surprised with the way that Garrett Shrader ran today. I know he's an athletic quarterback. When he was at Mississippi State, he had a couple big plays, running the ball, and had a couple games where he helped Mississippi State in the ground. But in my opinion, that was just a lack of the Florida State defensive ends holding the edge, poor linebacker play, and just outright, where's the speed at on this defense to let a 6'5" quarterback just run like a gazelle right down the field untouched? I really got to understand and look at the game again. When it mattered most, this team was going out to the linebackers, and the linebackers just could not keep up with him in the run game. He had 137 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and they did a good job of holding Tucker to his worst game of the season, the second worst game of the season, but he still had 100 yards, averaged 4.2 yards per carry after coming in average 6.9. So you got to like what the defense did when it mattered most there. Really overall just really poor in the second half when it comes to situations. You look at Jordan Travis, I know he was 22 or 32. they ran a lot of short game, a lot of quick game. The interception, it was a great play by the Syracuse DB. But when you become predictable, that's the end result, is that the defense is going to pick up on that, and they made a great play. Cam should have done better with the block, but Florida State still gets the W. Jordan Travis had 19 carries for 113 yards. Treshaun Ward only 2 carries. And Corbin had 14.